must perish.
How are you going to be a revolutionary in such a tradition?
Submit yourselves to your masters with all respect.
Because I know more of it.
Now shout down the downside.
What populism does it sound?
They don't like.
Harmful. There are some people that argue that the earth is actually flat. And there are some people that argue that the earth isn't flat. Some people argue that we're living on a ball, we're living on a globe, right? We're living on a spinning ball. A ball that spins at 1,000 miles an hour on an angle of 23.4 degrees. Not a right angle, not 90 degrees. Take 23.4 degrees away from 90 and you're left with 66.6. Is that some type of anomaly? Or is that just like a glitch or something in the system? Anyway, the earth, according to the ballers and the globalists, or the heliocentrists, is spinning on an angle of 23.4 degrees and also spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Not only that, but the earth is also, according to the heliocentrists, traversing around or orbiting the sun at a rate of 55,000 miles an hour or somewhere thereabouts. So we're spinning on an axis of 23.4 degrees, 1,000 miles an hour, and we're spinning around the sun at 55,000 miles an hour. But on top of that, according to the globalists or the heliocentrists and the astrophysicists and the cosmologists and the people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Copernicus and Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton and the rest of these scientists. As well as that, our solar system is actually traveling through the Milky Way, spinning and orbiting at massive and crazy speeds of around 550,000 miles an hour. So we're traveling at 550,000 miles an hour through the universe, and then our sun is traveling around the universe at 550,000 miles an hour, and our Earth is orbiting the sun at 55,000 miles an hour, and then our Earth is also spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And yet, when I look up at the sky at night, everything looks the same as it did last night, and the night before, and last week, and the week before, and the month before. Everything looks the same this year as what it did last year, apart from the fact that there's an observable movement in the heavens as the celestial bodies move 1 degree for every 72 years. And this has been observed by the ancients. And the ancient Kemetans, or the ancient Egyptians, built pyramids and temples and statues which were perfectly aligned to the North Star, to the Polaris Star, to the Orion's Belt, and they gave credence to the constellations of the stars. But how could they have done that if we're traveling and spinning through the universe at such astronomical figures? Surely the constellations in the heavens, the constellations in the sky, the stars in the sky would appear to be hazy and crazy each and every single night, but they don't. They appear to be the same. So that's like a bit of an anomaly as far as I'm concerned. So if you're one of these budding scientists or an astronomist or an astrophysicist or an astrologist or whatever you want to call yourself, if you're one of these heliocentrists, can you please inbox me or just say, what's up, Mr. It's Not Me, It's You, and let me know, how do you account for this anomaly, what I call anomaly? How do you account for this glitch? The glitch of being, if we're traveling through the universe at 555,000 miles an hour times the rate of the Earth around the sun, which is 55,000 miles an hour, times the 1,000 miles an hour that we're actually spinning on our axis of 23.4 degrees, then how do you account for the fact that the Polaris Star is still due north on every single night, and it has been for the last 20, 30, 40, 50,000 years? It's just one of those questions. It's just one of those things that make you say, I wonder if. I'm not saying I'm a baller or I'm a flat earther or a flathead or whatever you want to call them. It's up to you. whether you're a baller or a flathead. As far as I'm concerned, the earth may well be flat, but philosophically, I remain agnostic purely because of the fact that, hey, for us, black and brown people in the face of the earth, we're still going uphill. We're still fighting a battle going uphill. We're on a Ferris wheel, running against the man, running against the system of white world supremacy. That's the reality. So for us, it's not flat. Even if for you, in your positions of privilege, it is flat. So if it is flat for you, oh, great. And if not, then great. But it's just an interesting thought. It's an interesting topic which highlights and pulls out many interesting facets. And one of those is, how come the constellations at night always seem to remain the same? Another real basic question, a childhood kind of question, is that, well, hey, look, if we're spinning so violently or so fast, how come we can't feel anything? How come we don't spin off the edge? How come we don't spin off the face of the earth rather than the edge? Hey? Anyway, I'll leave that question for you. Please get back to me at It's Not Me, It's You, honest, and I look forward to hearing from you. Anyway, this video, which I'm going to show you right now, is from a compilation called Flat Earth Clues, and I'd advise you to take a look into it. I'm not saying go and become a flat earther, because, well, you'd be stupid if you did that, wouldn't you? But just have a look and see what you think. I think it's pretty interesting.
NASA and modern astronomy say the Earth is a giant globe spinning 1,000 miles per hour around its central axis, traveling 67,000 mile per hour circles around the Sun, spiraling 500,000 miles per hour around the Milky Way, while the entire galaxy rockets a ridiculous 670 million miles per hour through the universe, with all of these motions originating from an alleged Big Bang cosmogenic explosion 14 billion years ago. That's a grand total of 670,568,000 miles per hour in several different directions we're all supposedly speeding along at simultaneously. No one has ever seen, felt, heard, measured, or proven such motion, yet the vast majority of people unquestioningly accept that the clearly motionless Earth beneath their feet is actually moving over 600 million miles per hour. NASA and modern astronomy say Polaris, the North Pole star, is somewhere between 323 and 434 light years, or about 2 quadrillion miles away from us. Firstly, note that is between 1.9 quadrillion to 2.6 quadrillion miles, making a difference of over 600 trillion miles. If modern astronomy cannot even agree on the distance to stars within hundreds of trillions of miles, perhaps their science is flawed and their theory needs re-examining. However, even granting them their obscurely distant stars, heliocentric astronomers cannot adequately explain how Polaris manages to always remain perfectly aligned straight above the North Pole. If the globe Earth was really spinning west to east 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the Sun counterclockwise at 67,000 miles per hour, spiraling around the outer arms of the Milky Way at 500,000 miles per hour, while shooting through the universe at 670 million miles per hour, how is it even conceptually possible that Polaris, 2 quadrillion miles away, day after day, year after year, always maintains its alignment straight above the North Pole? That would mean from 2 quadrillion miles away, Polaris would have to be perfectly mirroring Earth's several simultaneous wobbling, spinning, spiraling, and shooting motions. Polaris would have to be shooting the same direction through the universe at exactly 670 million miles per hour. It would have to be following the same 500,000 mile per hour, 225 million year spiral around the Milky Way, and mirroring the same 67,000 mile per hour, 365-day orbit around our Sun. Or, the Earth is stationary, as common sense and everyday experience testifies. William Carpenter wrote, "It is supposed in the regular course of the Newtonian theory that the Earth is in June about 190 million miles away from its position in December. Now, since we can in middle north latitudes see the North Star on looking out of a window that faces it, and out of the very same corner of the very same pane of glass in the very same window all the year round, it is proof enough for any man in his senses.
Yo, a Black Samurai Brothers of M collaboration featuring like Nemesis, man like Ravage, Shavara La. Yo, hear the rebel sing. Yo, the Bedlammers, what? Symphony of destruction. Come face my enter. The warlord, universal minister of assassination, proclaims a danger. The fatal cipher, fury, stalks and seeks glory, saga, stories, your defeat. The parable, elegance, salacious. I self-lord, flower, tenacious. All raw mega deaths from dire breath. My gun rolls live, karma, be violent. Raw rapids, blow your mind, your batties. Mad hatties, prevail from cipher fatties. Serpents, your minion, I'm Midian from the last dragon. Jewel Dominion, the brain bender, bastard, take the pisser. Mics I clove in the robes of Senetsa. This is rap Saduka, murderous, warriors. Last try, rebel sound, phantasmagoria. This is devastation, annihilation. For your valor.
When you see you and I getting together, it is because we have begun to realize that we have a common enemy. And the only time we'll be able to come together with a common objective and a common goal is when we first develop a common motive. And that motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.